Okay, one of the disadvantages of the project is its complexity. Most most end users find it hard to appreciate the benefits. How will Bancor be able to overcome this?
Maybe I can take this one.
Sure, go for
Yes.
it.
So I think Bancor is it's obviously more complex, and the details of Bancor, the way it essentially works, is pretty complex. But all of this stuff is, and obviously when you have multiple pools and things are complex, valuing a company is complex. All these things are pretty complicated, so you need to take them back to a level where it gets easier. But at the core, Bancor is pretty easy. In the sense is that if you have an asset, you can either put it in a portfolio, have it sit there, or you can make it work. Making it work means there's two ways of making an asset work. You can either lend it to someone. This is like the banking business model. Yeah, you lend someone money, they do something with it, they give it back to you for interest. Or you have a trading business model where you say, look, I provide liquidity and I give you this asset and you make this asset work by making money. And so if you want to gain a yield on your asset, there are really only these two options. Now, Bancor offers one of these two options as a service. They don't offer lending, but they offer market making. So if you go with Bancor, you can earn money on your assets by market making. Now, Uniswap, etc., they also offer these things. But the difference between Bancor and Uniswap is essentially that, except in catastrophic cases, Bancor gives you an insurance. They say, look, the difference between Uniswap and Bancor is really, on Uniswap, you do say, hey, you need to choose two tokens, not only one. You say, okay, I want to provide liquidity in ETH versus Bitcoin, wrap Bitcoin, whatever. And then you choose those two tokens. And if they move against each other, you have an impermanent loss. There's just no way around it. And in the paper, I made actually a very interesting comparison. If you hold like 10 tokens, and often you have sort of the typical investment strategy for a token investor is, okay, I'm going to take 50 tokens. Most of them are going to go to zero, and one is going to moon. And if you have this one with assets that are in an AMM, you lose a lot of money because you're going to lose on all the tokens that are losing, and the one that is mooning, there you're not going to make any money. So that really doesn't work for that. And so Bancor offers you this service. It allows you to make money out of it whilst holding. Yeah, that's essentially the thing. But obviously, nothing in this world is free. You pay a little bit of the fees over to Bancor because this is how the network finances it. Yeah, the idea is that, look, overall, over the entire Bancor network, the trading fees will cover the impermanent loss. Sometimes on a single pool, there might be an issue. On one pool, if they diverge, there might be a massive impermanent loss, which wipes out all your fees and more. But the bet that Bancor is getting into, like any insurance company really, is saying, it's like, look, okay, on a single pool basis, there might be impermanent loss and it might wipe out all the fees. But across the entire network, if we diversify and if we share the risk of impermanent loss across the entire network, then this is fine. And so to some extent, there's an insurance premium paid, which is you pay away some of your fees, which is also just simply because you don't provide double-sided liquidity, because Bancor provides one side of liquidity. You provide one side of the liquidity only, but this still means you only earn part of the fees. And in return, you get impermanent loss insurance. And this is really all it is. You diversify. So Bancor at the core is an insurance company, or the Bancor network is an insurance company that allows you to diversify the risk of impermanent loss, whilst at the same time, and this in turn allows you to use your tokens that you want to hodl to make markets and to earn extra yield on them. That's really in a nutshell what it is. Yeah.
And I would just add to that, I mean, I think the best way to overcome the complexity of the, you know, underlying system, the answer is pretty simple. It's just to make liquidity providers shitloads of money. Make sure the APY, when they stake their tokens and when they pull them out, they're worth more. And you know, there's this meme in DeFi, like, I'm here for the technology. It's sort of this joke that a lot of these like Deegans, so-called, don't really understand the system. They just understand like number go up, right? I put money into a smart contract when I can monitor, you know, how much money I'm making, and then when I pull it out, I've, you know, compounded my assets by a great deal. We refer to it as APY, or annual percentage yield, right? And it's so that's really the sort of key to further adoption, is for LPs to realize that they're making very solid returns. And one catalyst for that recently has been the release of BNT liquidity mining rewards, which effectively BNT is being dropped on a weekly basis on a select group of pools. And this incentivizes LPs to provide liquidity to those pools. As more liquidity comes into the pools, they can process conversions with lower slippage and cheaper trades. So it'll attract more trades and more swap fees. So the LP who provides liquidity is both insured on their principal. They're receiving BNT liquidity mining rewards on a weekly basis, which, by the way, they can get bonuses for the longer they hold BNT in the pool. And then thirdly, are generating these swap fees. And so the APY, especially on the BNT side of the pool, can get pretty outrageous, to, let's say, 300% to 500% annual percentage yield. So really, I think this is how we overcome the initial roadblock. And the complexity on the UX is really, there's really not that much complexity. It's just as easy as, you know, a couple clicks, similar to just buying tokens. It just locks up your assets, and we have a portfolio manager built directly into Bancor.network, where you can monitor your returns. You can see both the returns from BNT rewards and the returns from swap fees. And I think really this is how we overcome the complexity of the underlying piping. We give Deegans what they want, which is more money.
All right. Not financial advice.
Not financial
All right. Thank you.